Alrighty, so we are getting the steps cut, and I'm making sure that I row cut my pieces, this piece and this piece, and any of the pieces that are on the same run. I'm row cutting them all in the same spot, and then I take my measurement that way. Same thing here, row run it in the same spot and take my measure that way. That way I can line the one side of the wall and my pattern will be right running down the steps. Okay, we got our bottom flight cut and ready to go. Fixing to install these, and I will wait to cut these. I want to get that top step done first, that way I can match the pattern with what flows over there on that run. So let's get them done. Okay, so I'm here on this very top step fixing to do it, so I know how to start my pattern on this other row right here. Somebody suggested yesterday, which was a great idea. Actually, I had two people suggest it. Somebody messaged me and said it, and then somebody put it on the YouTube. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I took and undercut this door jamb here so I can tuck my carpet underneath of it, and it'll actually come all the way over here, and it'll kind of form this corner. Same thing over here. I just take and undercut that, and I'll tuck my carpet under far enough where it'll just come back and keep this form all the way to the wall. So for those of you that recommended that, greatly appreciate it. Love the channel. And I got my glue gun. It's already hot. I've been using it anyway. What I've been using it for is anytime I start a new piece here, instead of stapling it into the riser, I've been putting glue there because this is such a thin carpet. I did it on the first step or two, and I was like, yeah, I didn't really like how the staples were showing. Even wiggling the nose of the gun and getting it in already pit, it still was showing up a little bit. So I just stopped using the staple gun there and started gluing it to the bottom of the riser here, and then stapling only up underneath of the bull nose. Okay, so whenever you're dealing with patterned carpets, you can't always row cut the bottom, because sometimes the bottom edge will be different from the pattern, or maybe the step will just be messed up here like so. It goes way down in there, so maybe your carpet will get pushed down in here further on this side than it does on this side where there's actually wood there. So that will throw your pattern off on your step right here, okay? You definitely want that to be nicely. You want your pattern to run nice all the way across the ridge of your, the nose of your step. So rather than starting at the very bottom of the step like that, you're gonna wanna get your pattern right on the nose, and then come and tuck it under the nosing, staple under the nosing, and then cut your bottom to fit this piece nicely. Don't worry about it how it lines up here. You want it lined up on your nose better than anything. It looks weird, it looks awful. As a matter of fact, look at there, see that piece down there? I actually just ripped one off because I lined the bottom. I lined the bottom of the step here, and my pattern went from here, and then it went down, and it actually came down to over here. So from here to here, and this is a small pattern, so it did look pretty dramatic on this step. Okay, so what I was talking about placing this first and then doing this. This is the case right here. And what I'll do, after I get this done right here, all this done, I'm gonna go ahead and tuck this in there with my stair tool and mallet, get it down in the crevice really good right there, and then I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. Don't want to cut flat here for sure. We'll be short. We gotta have, I don't even want to do it at an angle. I'm actually going to come over just, let me show you here. So instead of placing my blade right in the gully, right there, I'm actually going to bring my blade about right there and cut, just not cutting deep enough to cut my previous step, okay? That'll give me enough to go ahead and boom, knock the rest of the way down in the gully. Okay. So if you'll notice, my knife is almost straight up and down right there. And same thing here. Now you can see how deep down in the gully that I actually cut that. So now I'm just going to take my stair tool. Just make sure it's all pretty. There we go. Work all the fuzz out of there. There we have it. That's what I've been doing on the risers. Alrighty, we are done with everything. Finally got it all cleaned up, ready to roll. So, wanted to do one little walkthrough here. Let you see the finished product. I'm real happy with the way that seam turned out up there, even though it showed up a little bit in the light. I'm not real happy, to be honest with you, though. See that and that? With me cutting that door jamb and tucking it under there, where the pad is not, you can see a little dip down on where the pad stops, right at the edge of each door jamb. I would have had to cut really high. I didn't want to do that to get pad under it to keep that all level. So that's what I'm stuck with. If it had had more of a lip on it where I could have done something else, like wrap the carpet around it with a piece of tack strip, that would have been great. But with what I had to deal with, that's just what you get, I guess. So anyway, everything's all good and straight. I do know that this is the last time I do pattern steps for $10 a step. I am going to charge more. I'm not going to do this no more for that. I'm either going to go up to $20 or $25 a step. Even on my plush carpet, I might go up to $15 on the plush. I'll come over here and let you take a look at the seam. Looking at it with the light, like I said, it don't show up near as bad since it's all vacuumed and everything. I'm real happy with this alignment of everything. Everything is nice and straight. And pattern carpet, to do that with pattern carpet, that's how it's supposed to be done. So therefore, it needs to pay a whole lot more than a regular carpet. So look over there. You can barely see just a wee bit where the seam is. Since it's vacuumed up, it looks a lot better than it could have. We'll just say that. Like I said, it was either, I thought about this quite a bit since I put the seam there. It was either there and there or here. Either way, it was going to show up. So in all honesty, to my advantage, it was better to put it right there rather than right there, for the sake of bringing up smaller pieces of carpet. I don't have to bring up no 31 foot. Technically, it should have been run long ways, but with the options of it going to show here, here, or here, and the advantage of having smaller rows to deal with, makes it a little easier to say, okay, yeah, I ran it this way. But again, in all reality, I should have ran it the other way. Anyway, that's it. Wrapped up this job. It's about right at 100 yards. Actually, a little over 100 yards. Just barely. It was like a 12 by 79 is what this was, with 15, technically 16 steps. Let me show you something. Do you guys count, when you're doing your steps, do you guys count this right here as a step? The top landing, do y'all count that as a step? It needs to be counted as a step because you have to do it under the bullnose and stuff like that. I just noticed whenever I came out here, I counted them after I'd already turned my bill in for it. The carpet store didn't count it as a step, but I'm gonna start counting it as a step. So technically there were 16 steps. But anyway, thank you guys. I hope you maybe learned something.
on doing pattern steps and stuff like that. Anyway, gonna close this door up and get the rock out of here. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Daily Grind. Until tomorrow, FBSB's out.